Life Adlakha, a rhythmic gymnast from Haryana, showcased her skills on both the international and national stages. In 2023, she participated in the Rhythmic Gymnastics World Cup in Tashkent, the Asian Gymnastic Championship in Manila, and the Divine Grace International Rhythmic Gymnastic Competition in Sochi. Her notable national achievements include securing bronze in the individual all-round team and 3 bronze medals at the Khelo India Youth Games 2024, showcasing impressive performance at the senior nationals in Bangalore by bagging 3 silver and 1 gold. In the national games held in Goa in 2022, she accumulated a total of 6 medals. Her ultimate target is to represent India at the Olympics. Hello and welcome to the first edition of Beyond Scoreboard, a podcast show where we get in conversation with our young Indian athletes. I'm Aishwarya and that's my co-anchor.
I'm Swarna.
So before we begin, let's first introduce our unique guest, Life Adlakha. Talk about your skill first. You're a rhythmic gymnast. So why did you choose this sport and how is it different from the other sport that you try?
Yes, so artistic gymnastics is basically a lot of strength and conditioning, and in rhythmic gymnastics you require a lot of flexibility, and this is about elegance, grace. It shows, womanhood, and we apply makeup to look beautiful and graceful, and then the costumes are very pretty, so it's costing like 20 to 30,000. They're very expensive, and it has Swarovski all over it, so you can show that okay, this is what grace, beauty is what actually it is. And in artistic, it's like basically you have a lot of muscles, and here the body type is very thin, slim, sleek, and you have to be very graceful on the carpet. Like you have to show your emotions and like show what beauty is. And in artistic gymnastics it requires a lot of strength, and you have to do pull-ups, conditioning, and there the apparatus are beam and vault, bar, apparatus like that. And in rhythmic gymnastics we have 5 apparatus: hoop, ball, clubs, and ribbon. So these all are very, beautiful, and they are placed, and the fundamentals are in a way that you should look beautiful on the carpet.
Yes, and you have music also.
Yes.
And the music is chosen by you.
Yes, so every gymnast chooses their type, like the kind of music you like. So you can express your emotions on the carpet, like your favorite music, so you can dance to it. Or if it's sad, you should just do like body waves and contemporary kind of thing.
More like dance to express yourself.
Yes.
And someone said dancing without dancing actually.
Yes, really.
Yeah, it shouldn't look like a Bollywood dance because I remembered seeing you at the National Games Goa and you were fantastic. You won a gold there. And I remember you choosing a song.
Yes,
Yeah.
It was an Indian song.
It was an Indian song and I loved it. So why did you choose that particular song?
Because there are many songs, but I chose that one because everyone has English songs, and I wanted to represent my culture and shows, usme like steps like dhumkas and like this hand movements. So when I did that in international competitions, everyone was like, oh my god, Indian music. They were so fascinated because all kinds of music are kind of same, but this music was very different. Like the steps and the waist movement, everything was very different. So I really love the music. That's why.
So do you choose your costume color according to the music that you've chosen, that mood, to set the mood and everything?
Yes, like, if the music is very strong, we will go with strong color, like bold colors, dark blue, dark, really dark colors, black. And like, if the music is happy, cheerful, then really colorful costume, red, or, bright colors, happy, cheerful. And if it's sad, then it will be like white or very plain, normal costumes. Then, yes, according to that.
Ma'am, tell us, Adlakha, she started with skating as a sport. So how did you identify her talent and how did you put her into gymnastics?
Actually, it was not planned basically. Like she was very active child. So sometimes she used to, like one day she broke that fridge door. She was just climbing that door and swinging, and it got separated. So like she was full of energy. So I decided to just consume her energy. Like it was not her passion, that skating. And I just put her in the activity that was skating. So when my younger one was 3-4 years old, so I put her in gymnastics because she was already grown. So the coaches they don't take the like the child with the age of 9, 10, 11. They don't take. Gymnastics is always preferable with a younger age. So I had put my younger daughter in gymnastics, and she used to cry and run away from the hall. So I told her, you stay with her for 1 month at least, so that she gets settled down. Life fell in passion with gymnastics like anything. Like she loved gymnastics. Then coaches also allowed her at that age. Like, okay, let her come, let her learn the gymnastics, and slowly, like we are more towards education. So we had put her like just recreational activity के बच्चे आते हैं और सिर्फ 2 घंटे अपना एनर्जी कंज्यूम करके आएंगे, then they will study. So both of us are engineers, my husband and me. So we were more focused about studies. But after looking her passion, like in the starting 3-4 years, we were pushing her towards studies only. Like we used to stop her, don't go for gymnastics. Gymnastics is over now. Like 2 hours you have done, now focus on your studies. So we used to force her to like you go towards studies. But after seeing her passion, like I have seen many other her fellow friends, they were busy in watching movies and on Netflix they were busy, but she was busy in watching competitions. So slowly we realized that she is too much passionate.
She's focused.
She is focused, and like her passion is of different level. So she played her first national competition, and then she was at the last in that competition. So then after coming back from that competition, we told her, no, you are not doing any more this gymnastic. So still she worked hard like anything, and now she has reached that level. So we are happy.
When did you realize that this is not just a hobby, this is a career, this is a passion? And how did you convince your parents that I want to take this path, I want to just go for it?
No, at first I really hated it because I hated like physical activity. It was always forced for me. It was never, ki, oh my god, wow, I love this. No, because when I went with my sister, I was very chubby and very fat. And then everyone was like, oh, she. And then I did stairs at the first day. And then I was like, I'm not going because I have a lot of pain. But then gradually my mom forced me, you have to go for your sister. Then I went. And then there was this bhaiya, middle split, I did that, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so painful, I will not go again. And then I found rhythmic gymnastics. Like I shifted to Ambala, and then I found rhythmic gymnastics. I was like, this is a sports. And then I started rhythmic gymnastics there, just like, okay, I'll just try it.
So rhythmic gymnast requires agility, है ना? So since you said you were chubby, अब ऐसा होता है कि जब आप weight put on करते हैं तो body इतनी agile नहीं होती है ना? तो ये transition कैसे आया? How did you prepare your body? When I see your videos, when I see you perform, you are very agile. और ये कैसे हुआ कि fat to fit?
Yes, so when I started, like, in rhythmic gymnastics, I realized that you have to be thin in order to be a rhythmic gymnast and not that fat. And you have to be flexible. And I was the most inflexible, like wood. I couldn't open split, and when I started, it was 11, so I was very, very stiff. And then I started, working on my flexibility a little bit. Then I realized that if I do, it will increase, but it's a very painful process. Like you have to hold your split for 5 minutes, like, and on chairs, like one leg here, and there are 2 chairs, and you are in the center, and the center of gravity is pulling you down, and you have to hold that for 5 minutes. And when I got my first medal, it was a bronze medal in states only. Like in states only, I got it. In Haryana, I came 3rd. So I was like, okay. Then I realized that I did not want just bronze. I wanted gold, and I was made for gold. Like I can get the gold if I work hard for it. So I left chips. They were my first love. Blue lace. So
I see a lot of sacrifice.
Yes, you have to sacrifice in order to to be the best. So I left everything because I was fat, and of course I liked junk food so much. It was like, oh my god, I really, really liked it. Then I left eating junk food, and then I got thin, and then I went to like a vacation in Canada. So my mom was like that, okay, you were doing gymnastics there only, so go. 3 घंटे जा तो मेरा सिर पीछा छूटेगा. So I went to the gymnasium there, and I was like, oh my god, magic. because that was the first time I saw what proper rhythmic gymnastic is. Because when I was in India, there wasn't, you know, good athletes who were like showing rhythmic gymnastic, and then they were doing just magical things, very beautiful, beautiful things. I was like, oh, I want to learn that. But then I felt really, really inferior because I was nowhere near them.
Yes.
When I came back to India, then I realized that, okay, you have to do this, this, this in order to get there. Then I started, you know, picking difficult choices in life. There was when I started working hard. After that, vacation in Canada. So I lost weight, and then I increased my flexibility gradually. But it was very difficult, very painful process.
Any rhythmic gymnast जिसको देखे you're starstruck कि when I saw you I was starstruck. तो मेरे लिए आप हो कि यार मुझे भी ये सीखना है कि वो like you said you were like stick hardboard कहते हैं ना कि flexibility नहीं है but कर लिया. तो मुझे यहाँ पे एक hope दिख रहा है. तो वो कौन एक रिदमिक जिम्नास्ट थे जिनको देख के यू वर स्टारस्ट्रक, इसकी परफॉर्मेंस तो ऐसा कभी ना कभी मुझे तो पहुंचना है उस लेवल पे.
So there was Mamoon Margarita. She won 2016 Olympics, but you know it wasn't specific her. So I did not know like gymnastic at all. So I opened YouTube and I went through many competitions videos, and then I realized, okay, this is what gymnastic is. So there wasn't any like proper gymnast who I wanted to be like, but yeah, every gymnast has different qualities. So I want each one of them.
Yeah, you develop your own style.
Yes.
What is your style?
Mine is just going on the carpet and be yourself, because I feel like every routine on the carpet has a different story. Like if I take my hoop music is very different. It's like different, and clubs music is very, you know, bold and very artistic. So you have to show expressions and you have to keep not smile in that. And ribbon music is just enjoy and dance karke aa jao. It's very enjoyable music. Like yes, there's no nervous mental. I enjoy my routine very much in ribbon.
मैम आपके माइंडसेट क्या होती है बिफोर व्हेन शी इज परफॉर्मिंग, से शी इज डूइंग एन इवेंट और बिफोर शी इज इन अ कॉम्पिटिशन, what emotions you go through, ma'am? Are you as nervous as her? What are you talking to her before an important event?
Yeah, actually she prepares her mind on her own, so I don't disturb her. So like the only thing which I tell her is believe in yourself and you have worked hard for this day. That is my only wordings. And I usually get nervous like how she will perform, but I know that when she will be on carpet she will give her best. So that is a kind of I believe in her hard.
So since your sister is an international player और वो skating कर रही थी तो आप भी कर रहे थे, तो आपने वही क्यों नहीं परस्यू किया? Like both of the sisters could have been in the same spot.
Okay, so I was skating and I was doing normal skating, and it was just 1 hour time waste करके आ जाओ बस. Just my mom wanted me to go for 1 hour outside, and she and me did gymnastic together, and she was artistic gymnast and I was rhythmic gymnast. So we both played national tournaments, state tournaments, and then she was very flexible. She was very good gymnast. Then she said that, okay, I do not want to do gymnastics, because she is the kind of girl who can try anything and everything. She will do thoda bahut of everything. And when she left gymnastics, I was like, I did not want my first national medal. I was a state gold medalist. And then I realized that skating is not going to work for me because she's an ice skater. So she joined it very late. And I was still doing rhythmic gymnastics. I was in love with gymnastics and I wanted, you know, I had more dreams. So I did not do skating.
What were the qualities that you put into them, you know, to make them more independent? First of all, making them more independent. More than making them feminine, I think it's more important to make your daughters independent and be self-assured in themselves. तो आपने क्या वही क्वालिटी हमेशा सोचा इनको सिखाया है बचपन से?
मुझे जो लगता है ना, मुझे लगता है कि देखो कुछ भी अच्छा बन जाते हैं इंसान, बट सबसे पहले जो है मुझे इंसान इनको बनाना, मतलब मेरा जो एम हमेशा रहा है वो यही रहा है, बी अ गुड ह्यूमन
बीइंग फर्स्ट.
यस, दैट इज़ माय मेन एम. तो मैं दोनों में वही क्वालिटीज़ इनकॉर्पोरेट करना चाहती हूँ कि डोंट हर्ट एनीबडी, लाइक बी पोलाइट. सो दैट इज़ द मेन थिंग व्हाट आई वांट. एंड और एक जो मेरे को था कि आई हैव टू यूज़ देयर एनर्जी इन अ कंस्ट्रक्टिव वे रादर देन डिस्ट्रक्टिव वे. So like she is in teenage, still she is using her whole energy in constructive way. She is not at all distracted anywhere. Like I told you, like I have seen other children, they are busy on Netflix, phones, but whenever I'll go to her room on her laptop, I'll see that competition, some of the World Cup or some of the competitions, always she is playing that and watching that.
Your mom was talking about so many lessons and values she's tried to instill in you. So what are some lessons and values that sport has instilled in you?
Everything, my life, how to walk, how to talk, the confidence, because I was really underconfident and I used to be, always separate from the whole class, that lonely child who was sitting alone. And basically everyone was really extrovert, and I was really introvert, and I had no confidence in myself. Like, I always thought I will always be the last, even though I was really good, but I still thought that okay, I will never be good enough. After doing gymnastics, after winning, and I failed in life, like a lot, failed in gymnastics especially. That failure taught me more than the winning did. So I learned that, okay, how to believe in myself, and you can. The first thing is that you have to believe in yourself first, and then you can achieve anything in life. So when I was like the downfall of my career, of my life, of injuries, then I was thinking, keep, leave it, bhai. I cannot. And after that, when I played World Cup, after like I had a back injury, really severe back injury. After that, I played Asian Championship. Then I realized, wow, life, okay, I did it. And if I hadn't, thought that, okay, one day I'll for sure represent India, then this wouldn't be possible. So you have to believe in yourself and be confident in who you are and what you are doing.
So tell me about the competitions, international competitions, World Cup and Junior Asian Championships. What did you experience in the competition? How was it like traveling internationally for a tournament? You would have seen so many athletes from all over the world. So how was the competition?
Yes, at like the first World Cup, I was really, really excited. I was like, oh my God, because the athletes I used to watch on the laptop, they were there in front of me and they trained on the same carpet as me and they competed with me and my name was with them, especially like the higher level athletes. I used to watch them as my inspiration. I used to see that, okay, one day I'll do like them. And now I was competing with them. So, of course, it was a very beautiful experience. And it was, jo khushi ki aansu wala moment hota hai, okay, I finally made it, because this was the dream I was seeing for last 7 years. And now I'm here. And the first thing when I did my first event, there were 4 events, hoop, ball and clubs ribbon. So I went to perform my first event, hoop, and then they say, Adlakha live from India. Oh my God, like that was such a, joyful, teary moment. But I knew that, okay, you have to perform, do not cry live. You have to focus on your performance. So that was the best moment when I heard my country's name with my name, and it was truly a dream come true. And I couldn't be happier at that moment. That was the happiest moment of my life, because it was the first time and it had finally happened what I dreamed about.
Your future aspirations. अभी तो कहते हैं ना एक box tick हुआ है. अभी और आगे जाना है. तो what are your future aspirations from now, since you have reached this far?
So this far now, I have to win a medal for India and work really, really hard, and be a good athlete. Especially when I grew up in this rhythmic gymnastic field, I had no one to look up to. Like, there were, of course, people that from other states, but they weren't like my seniors. And now, whenever like in Haryana, they are like, okay, live didi jaisa banna hai, or live didi ka start ho raha hai, you have to watch this. And people, like, when I perform, everyone stops and stares. And basically I wanted my juniors, to have someone to look up to, and I had to be the senior, which I never had. So yes, only that, to win a medal for India and be a good gymnast, be a good inspiration for children who were struggling like me without coach or without
I'm sure you will win. Yeah, your attitude is so positive and you're just full of life. That's just amazing. Ma'am, आपकी message क्या है parents के लिए for their children who want to pursue something like sports? You were saying you come from an engineering background. So most people in India, they have a middle class, lower middle class education background. So what message will you give parents to for their children to follow their dreams, or like if they want to do something different in some different field? So what would you tell them?
The only thing what I want to tell them is let them what they want to be. That is the only message I want to give. Like, see, पैसे तो सभी कमा लेते हैं, set सभी हो जाते हैं. So what is their passion? Let them work in that direction. Don't stop them. No matter whether they are getting failures continuously, like they are not getting any success. Still, if the kid is struggling, support them. So that is the main message. Don't stop them.
It's always nice to have a strong support system. Yes. And I think अगर दुनिया में कोई support नहीं कर रहा है, अगर if your parents are supporting you, yes, you can achieve anything.
And it
makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, it gives them a strong psychological strength So like if you are supporting them, you are pushing them towards success, no matter like how far it is, but they will definitely succeed
The
one.
validation from parents is very important. Very
It's
important.
very important because there
I-
were times in my life where I was,
Psychological.
ki chhod do, I do not want to do this. And then she was the woman who was there, life, you have come this far and you can. Only you are the person who can do this. And then I'm like, yeah, nahi ho raha, mummy, I cannot. And then she always motivated me that, okay, life, remember where you started when you think like this and you have achieved this much on your own. So just imagine, that you have to achieve your dreams. And she used to tell me that, okay, life, you can do this and believe in yourself always. And my dad also, at first he was very that, पढ़ ले भाई, पढ़ ले, जिंदगी में क्या करेगी? And then because I was nowhere, like in gymnastic also, I wasn't standing anywhere in whole of India. I was like 9th, 10th at this point. And it was my 10th class. And then lockdown आ गया, 9th class में lockdown आ गया. And then I realized that, okay, पढ़ाई, because there's no school. Then I worked really, really hard. And then I won my first medal at Khelo India Games, which were 3 years, like, they were my first Khelo India, and they were held in Panchkula, Ambala. So this is where like it all began, when I won my first one bronze. It was one bronze medal.
Yeah. Who has been your biggest competitor? जिसको लग रहा है यार, you've played internationally, national games में भी you had good competitors there. तो वो एक कौन है जिसको देख, you get inspired also, but you consider them as your biggest competitor?
I don't consider anyone my competitor. I consider like my laziness, my, that you have to leave the phone and you have to sleep early. Like the biggest competitor is myself, because I always aim to perform, like suppose my last competition, I have to get a better score than that. I have to give a better performance than that. And at the end, it's not about competitors. Like honestly, if you are better than yesterday, you will win a medal. Not even medal, but you will, come in a top scorers. And like, but competitor, I would say there's a girl, Sayukta Kale, and when I was a baby and I was really like, I came last and I used to look up to her, and she used to win like 6 medals, and I'm like, oh my god, 6 golds, oh. And वो जो medals बजने की आवाज आती है ना, clinking sound, I used to look up to her and wow यार, ऐसे कैसे आ सकते हैं, तो magic है. And then when I competed with her and we got to know each other, and then I won a medal with her, and national games I won 1 gold on top of her. So that was okay, wow moment. Like she's a girl who's really hardworking, really inspiring, because she has been winning gold since like many years, like especially.
So it's always like जब तक आपका inspiration competitor नहीं बन जाए ना same field में, तब तक काम करते रहो. You mentioned कि एक ऐसा point आया था आपकी life में जब आप बिल्कुल rock bottom पहुंचे थे और वहां से bounce back करना बहुत मुश्किल है. कहते हैं ना, अब pool में या कहीं पे जब आप डूब रहे होते हैं ना, वो लास्ट एक मोमेंट आता है जहां से अगर बाउंस बैक कर गए तो आप ऊपर तह पे पहुंच जाते हो. तो वो मोमेंट के बारे में थोड़ा आप बताइए.
It was a very bad moment. I got a back injury. Like I was at the peak of my career and it was lockdown, because I had, improved myself, really, really improved myself. And back flexibility, I had worked on my back flexibility, because I told, flexibility was always my weakness. So in lockdown, I said that I'll increase my back flexibility, because there are no competitions, there are no exams. So what I had was time, ample of time. So I had to, put that time into something productive. And I started working on my back flexibility and running and endurance. So I really, really developed it. And then end of the lockdown, it was 29th August 2021, and I got a back injury. And then I could not bend back. I was like, shit, this wasn't supposed to happen. Because that was, I worked for everything, it was gone. It was gone in a split second. Then I thought that, okay, it's a matter of month or something. It will go away, like the injury will heal. But then it got really, really severe, like L4, L5, mid disc collapse and lumbar straightening. So I could not bend back. Like for 2 years, I had very bad problem in bending back. So all the elements, I really, really worked down in lockdown. They were all gone. Like I took a rest for 2 months. Then I realized that, okay, shit, yaar. Because if I rest now, then I will never go back to gymnastic. And it was a very serious injury. And then after 2 months, there was a lot of, down progress. There wasn't any progress because I was actually resting. And all the things I had worked on, I gained weight. Again, it was like the worst fear of mine, gaining weight. And then that back elements I could not do. And then there were photos and videos of the lockdown process. When I was training, I used to look at them and cry, ki, okay, this is how I was like 5 months before, and this is what I am. So there's no going back to that, because ab to ho gayi na injury, you cannot do anything about that. And therapies weren't working, because I had to train and then therapy. And in order to the therapy, to work, you have to rest. And I could not afford rest at that time, because I had already rest 2 months. And if I had rested more, I would have ended my career at that time. So then I realized that okay, life up to ho gaya, you cannot do anything about that. After 1 year of crying and being sad, very, very sad about that you have to get up from there, because now I was back to ground zero. Like it was like starting gymnastic again, but just from little bit experience. And at that time I had no motivation. This was before I won a national medal or anything. This was just the beginning. Then I started working again on my leg flexibility, basically, because that was the only thing I could do now. Like I had no back flexibility, my back elements were really, really gone. And in rhythmic gymnastic, there are jumps. Okay, so when I was having a problem in landing jumps because of my back, because the impact was straight on my lower back and the injury was also lower back. So I could not do jumps also, and now I could not back bend also. So these two important, they're really, really important gymnastic aspects of gymnastic were gone. Now I had to work on everything else, and now the things left were back flexibility and apparatus. So I was like, theek hai, what's done is done, it is what it is, and you have to start from the scratch, and only these are the two things you can do. So I made, my stronger point apparatus.
You are more active on social media, right? So how much of your personal life goes there?
Yes, I show, like if I am roaming places, then I show, but I don't show everything on social media, but I show my achievements, like not the downfalls, just my achievements. That okay, this is what I have won, and I don't post every day. I just put stories, like stories on when I'm in a competition or games, just that.
Well, that was it for today. We had a wonderful conversation with Life Adlakha, a rhythmic gymnast. This is me, Aishwarya.
This is me, Swarna, signing off.
Keep watching Beyond Scoreboard.